Yeah, that's cool. All right. So we're on YouTube. We should be live now.
On youtube.com?
That's what you asked me before.
I know,
Yes.
but the other 2 times it wasn't. Okay, so this time it is. We're on youtube.com live streaming. Cool.
Apparently. And the real show starts in a few minutes, as the thing says.
Perfect.
And then I'll open with a little Jim Brewer clip. We can say hi to people on YouTube. Oh, somebody from the GDL is here.
Represent everybody. Check
Somebody
in.
dropping N-words is here. Okay. Oh, I hope this is working on Rockfin. Let's see.
We never know with
It
Rockfin.
looks perfect on my end. They keep trying to tell me I need a new computer.
Are they trying to sell you one?
Yeah. All right. So on YouTube, hello, people who haven't seen me for a while. People are excited about the Guidestones.
I'm excited about the Guidestones. People are saying it's good news.
Yeah. Well, the AI says it'll stop the New World Order.
Wow. That's an optimistic approach from the AI.
Yeah, it says that people want to blow it up to stop the New World Order. Bitcoin is up. We'll start the show soon. We have people tuned in on YouTube. Hey, everybody on YouTube. Sorry, I haven't been on YouTube for a while. It's because, you can't say anything. But I thought about today's show and I realized I don't think we're going to say anything that's that controversial. Except, yeah.
No, we'll be good.
Jelena says, hold my beer.
I'm actually drinking iced wine tonight.
Oh, good. That's good. It's good. We all have to be prepared for the show. Thanks for joining me. This is Jelena. People on YouTube, do you guys remember? From a long time ago, we used to do the show together on YouTube.
Way back.
Yeah. All right. So maybe let's see how long we've been streaming for 3 minutes. We'll start in 2 minutes.
Love it.
Yeah. And we'll show you guys what happened with the Guidestones first. I guess I'll show that on my Twitter feed. So now their history. They got blown up. I didn't realize how much was blown up.
Yeah.
At first. And now they've actually totally been toppled. It's good.
I'm happy about it. I know it's a little childish, but I'm happy about it. I have a good reason. I have a theory. Not really a theory, but like a clue that I found.
Oh, good. Okay, good. It has to do with CERN.
Yeah. And it's not like a dumb theory. It's like a real one. It's like a real number, beautiful mind thing.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay, cool. Beautiful Mind. The guy in A Beautiful Mind was crazy, though, right? You realize that?
I didn't watch the movie.
Oh.
So
he was insane. Oh. But he got over it, which is like hopeful for people. He did get over it, his insanity.
Like an inspiring movie for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Uplifting, cool.
Uplifting. So we have different screen modes. Okay, we have the thing. So we have the screen with us. We don't even need us. We can just show cinema layout. And then I can start with Jim Brewer. Okay, I'm going to start. It's been about 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to hit record on the podcast. And then I'm going to play a clip to start the show. And then we'll talk about the Georgia Guidestones and stuff for people who are tuned in. Thanks for the tip, Jacob's Ladder. Thank you very much for the tip on Rockfin. See, I told you Rockfin is good. Jelena.
I said the people at Rockfin who watch you are good.
Oh.
But Rockfin sucks.
No, it only sucks because sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, so I'll get started with the show. Hold on. Okay, I see where I can record my podcast. Okay, so I can hit, oops, hold on. I have to get everything all ready. Okay, so I can record.
Vaccinators, you were real cocky a couple months ago. We got vaccinated. Got my second shot April 19th. I can't get sick from the corona. I'm vaccinated. See this bucket of virus? I'm vaccinated. I'll even lick metal. I'm not afraid of anything. I don't have to wear a mask. People vaccinated are getting sick. What? You need a new booster. What? Who wants a shot? Who wants to see a ball game? Wave your flipper. That's for you. Go see the ball game. Who wants to work again? That's for you. Who wants their kids educated? What's in the shot? It's safe. Don't worry. Don't worry. Go ahead. Give me.
Pretty funny, right?
Yeah. That was an interesting creative choice. Opening with that clip.
What do you mean?
Like the biggest news of the day that everyone is covering off the bat, and you choose a Jim Brewer clip. It's not a criticism. It's an interesting creative choice. I respect it.
Okay.
It's funny.
All right. So, welcome to the show, Jelena.
Thank you.
If you want to talk about the creative controls of the show, then what should we have led with? Should we lead with the Guidestones? Because we're going to talk about a number of things.
I mean, no, we shouldn't have led with the Guidestones because that's too predictable. I like this. It's warming it up, getting everyone in a good mood. That's good.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I just thought it was a funny clip, actually. I think it's funny anybody can joke about the vaccine in front of people, because I feel like if you tell that joke, then people get offended. But people were clapping, even though people were probably vaccinated.
Probably, yeah, to get into the comedy club, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Who knows? But hey, what's up? Jelena's here with me. This is Nathan and Jelena here on YouTube. She convinced me to come on because people don't watch the show on other platforms. That's what you told me, right?
Well, no, I said that you would get a broader reach if you broadcast it on YouTube.
A broader reach if I broadcast it on YouTube. So that's what we're doing, is broadcasting on YouTube, because we get a broader reach, even though we're totally demonetized on YouTube and nobody can do anything like super chat the show. But there's a way around that, right?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but they can go to lifttheveil.substack.com and subscribe.
Yep, we have Substack, and then we have Cash App too, so people can. Yeah, I asked. So we definitely want to talk about the Georgia Guidestones today. I want to talk about that's the biggest news as far as you can tell, because you were critical. You were critical of the clip I opened the show with.
No, critical in the sense, like if we're in a film class, I'm critiquing the choice, but not critical. Right. I think it's good. Yeah.
Right. So what should we talk about?
I think we should talk about the Georgia Guidestones.
Okay, great. I can do that. Let me pull up a screen to show exactly what happened. It's been demolished completely now, and it was blown up in the middle of the night.
That was the strangest way to lay out what happened. You started with the last thing that happened and then worked. I love it. Let's talk about what happened. What happened with the Georgia Guidestones? Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, somebody blew it up, and I assume they have it on. Some kind of security camera, because they have security cameras all over that place.
It
but
wasn't.
Well, apparently they did catch the people driving away, maybe. So I'll give you an update on that. But this was okay. So going back in time,
Yeah, let's start at the very beginning. What the hell happened?
There were pictures of the Guidestones being blown up, and then there was, or that they had been blown up, and then they eventually released security footage showing the actual explosion. So,
yeah, that's what I remember, because I went on Twitter today and they showed, because everyone knows what the Georgia Guidestones is. I'm assuming that if you're watching Lift the Veil, you have visited the Georgia Guidestone rabbit hole. And it's, you know what it is. It's 8 slabs that talk about what to do if the world ends, how to rebuild. They talk about having 500 million people on the planet. They talk about everything being in perpetual balance with nature and a bunch of other eugenicist, Bill Gatesy type of bullshit. And one of the slabs, at least one of them, right, was totally demolished by some crazy, what they said was an explosion.
well, what you can see was an explosion.
Yes.
Not even just what they said.
Well, I don't know if it was an explosion. I don't know what I saw. I'll put it that way. I think we should watch it.
I can show you video of it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I have video of what supposedly is the explosion of the Georgia Guidestones. And yeah, we can get filled in on exactly what the Georgia Guidestones are for people who aren't aware of what they say. But this is the security camera footage, which if they have this, there it blew up. So they blew up at least one of the whole slabs.
I mean, I'll agree that it exploded. I don't know if it was blown up.
Oh, you're saying it might not have been a bomb? You're saying it was an act of God or something?
I'm definitely not ruling out that it was an act of entities that may be God or God's emissaries. No.
Okay, well, that's possible. Do you know why somebody would want to blow up the Georgia Guidestones?
Well, I know that you asked AI why.
Yeah, but what do you think?
What do I think? I think that's the wrong question to ask. That's what I think.
Really? So do you know what the Guidestones say? Because I had to ask the AI that too.
Let's read it then.
Okay. I'll show that screen. Here, let me see. Share.
And I don't know if this is completely confirmed, but I'm pretty sure that the slab that got destroyed was the one that was in Hindi and Swahili, because each of the slabs has 2 different languages.
That's what you're saying, but that's just because somebody's saying that on Twitter, right?
I saw 2 people saying it on Twitter.
So 2 people on Twitter claim that they know which slab was demolished.
Yes. And it's relevant. I'm bringing it up because it's relevant. We can circle back to it.
Well, you can tell me now.
Well, if it's Hindi, then the CERN connection that I have grows stronger in terms of the fact that they have the Shiva statue outside of their headquarters.
Right. So CERN started on Tuesday, right?
Yeah. Can I get into my little theory? I'll tell you why I think who did it isn't the right question. What I'm looking at is more so, is this connected to something bigger? Is it just a random person, or is this part of a larger orchestration?
Okay, that's fine. People are interested in that kind of thing.
Perfect. So hold on. I'm really interested in timestamps. The video footage that we just saw of the explosion, the thing blowing up, the slab being destroyed, it happened exactly at 4:03 and 33 seconds in the morning, Eastern time.
That's correct.
So I was trying to run numbers, figure out, if there's anything interesting to find. And I did find something very interesting, and it's directly connected to CERN.
Okay, go on.
So CERN, as everyone knows, ramped up yesterday and did their most powerful energy beam collision yet. And the time that they did that energy beam collision, at least what they're publicizing it, the time is being, was exactly 10:47 a.m. Eastern time, American. Okay. So we have 10:47 Eastern time. CERN does their collision. And then we have 4:03:33 Eastern time the next day. The Guidestone is struck down by an explosion, a bomb, an act of God, whatever. So follow me here. This is kind of deep woo, but I think it's interesting, and I'm hoping that other people can kind of crowdsource this and see what happens. So the difference between those two times is 17 hours, 16 minutes, and 33 seconds.
Well, you're assuming though that you didn't have the seconds, so you don't know about the seconds for sure because unless they started it right at 10:47, the CERN thing.
And I looked to see if they gave a second time, because CERN and their scientists, shouldn't they have the exact second that the collision happened? No. And for this, it doesn't actually matter if it is or isn't the exact second. It's what they publicized. What they publicized was exactly 10:47 a.m. Eastern. Right?
Okay. So exactly, right? So we're going to assume that it was exact for your calculations, which have to do with the second time too.
Right.
Okay.
So 17 hours, 16 minutes, 33 seconds. Random collection of numbers, right? I Googled it. And again, deep woo, step with me here. Just imagine that this is all part of a plan. The first thing that came up was a verse from the Bible, Acts 17, verses 16 through 33. And in that part of the Bible, we have a letter from Paul to no other city than Athens, which is, I think, the largest city to the Georgia Guidestones, Athens, Georgia. Of course, that's not the same Athens, but Athens nonetheless. And the verse is all about how no one should be worshiping false idols, that God does not exist in temples or in forums, and that the only word that we should be following is from God, not from man or anything made from man's hands.
All right.
So that I know for you, Nathan, not necessarily. I don't know if you're a believer in God necessarily, in the traditional sense of the word.
Well, different from other people always, but yes.
Right. I know that for a lot of people, especially in the woo circuit, the conspiracy circuit, who follow these things, who know what the Georgia Guidestones are and who are happy that they're destroyed, might be more sympathetic to the idea that that was very intentional placement, the 17, 16, 33.
I see. Wow. That is, well, people might think it is.
I don't think it's an accident. That's all I'm saying.
KDD says it's not an accident. JJ Hempcrete Bear says good one, Jay. So you got it. Sounds like it might be. What am I supposed to say? It sounds like it might be a real thing.
No, you don't have to say anything. You could say that's dumb. Let's move on.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know. I don't know. It's wild though. I mean, it is interesting. People shouldn't worship false idols. That's true.
It is true. Yeah, we can all agree on that. That doesn't lead to anything good.
Yeah. So we're relating when CERN did their collision with the Georgia Guidestone bombing, and we're coming up with a Bible verse that has to do with not worshiping false idols. That's good.
It's something. I mean, everyone's connecting it to CERN, and I think the strings on some other theories are a lot looser than that one. So I'm going to go with it.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, the Guidestones, I asked what the Guidestones say, which they said to maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, and to guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. So the Guidestones were really about eugenics and controlling and population control, which are things that we think Bill Gates is behind too.
Yes. People do think that. Mm-hmm.
So I asked, why would someone want to blow up the Georgia Guidestones? The AI told me there is no certain answer. Some people believe the Guidestones are a symbol of the New World Order, and they believe that blowing them up would be a way to stop the New World Order from taking over the world. So it's possible.
What would
just as likely?
I don't know, just as like, what would be the methodology for like stopping the New World Order? Like does destroying the Guidestones, do the Guidestones have some sort of inherent power or what?
Well, I mean, all I can say is that I asked the question and that's what it told me. I can show video of them being totally knocked down today.
That was exciting.
Yeah. So this is the video. So I guess they demolished one stone completely. And then they decided that it was unsafe for it to stay up. So this is them actually taking it down today with a bulldozer. So they still don't know who made these things, right?
Oh, wow.
They're like 43,000 pounds each or something, these stones. So yeah, this is the bulldozer they brought in to bring it down. So they decided it was unsafe after the explosion, which you say got rid of the Hindi version of it.
That's what I've seen from 2 people on Twitter.
Right, because they're connecting it to CERN. Well, that's the actual thing happening.
Did you ever get to visit the Georgia Guidestones?
No.
No.
Did you?
No, I'm kind of sad.
Yeah, now you can't ever possibly go and see him again.
Yeah. I remember the Georgia Guidestones as such like a fundamental part of my initial conspiracy theory rabbit hole journey. Like that's one of the first things you learn about is that there's these weird Guidestones that talk about what to do with the human population.
Right.
And no one knows who made them or why they're there or whatever. So the fact that they're now gone very suddenly and from a weird, I don't know, explosion, lightning bolt, act of God thing.
Right. You don't even believe that it was you don't even believe someone planted explosives.
I mean, someone could have planted explosives, it exploded. But I don't see my question is, why don't we have footage of like the people planting the explosives?
Well, yeah, we should get that. Here I have video possibly of a car leaving the scene right here. So this is allegedly a car leaving the scene right after it happened. Let's see. I'll show them. Oops. Sorry. With an ad first.
Of course.
So this is supposedly video of there's a vehicle right there. See?
Okay.
So that's the evidence that they have that somebody was there. That's video from about 4 a.m, supposedly.
Wait, so play that again. It's a silver car.
Sorry, I can't play it again because the way this website is. I know.
Well, from what I saw, it's a silver car driving for a couple of seconds, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Apparently right after the explosion, which, as you say, happened at 4:03 and 33 seconds.
Yeah, I need more evidence than that.
God, why does every place have to have ads before video?
It's kind of funny that the end of the world is like monetized.
I know.
Like random things.
I know. So that was another angle of the explosion.
Oh, I haven't seen this one yet. Okay. I mean, it had to have been something insane because, like you said, those are like 43,000 pounds each.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody must have wired it up with explosives. And they have cameras everywhere. So they have the camera of the explosion. Then they just haven't released the there's got to be footage of the people planting whatever the explosives are.
Yeah, because this second angle is pretty clear. And I think that patch of dirt, that's like where the road is. So the car would have been there at some point, I'm assuming. Or at least you would have seen people walking past it to their car.
Yeah, there's got to be something. There's got to be something that they aren't showing yet. So I guess they're going to have to they're going to catch the people that did it, probably.
You think?
I mean, they must have them on camera.
If it was people who did it. And if it was people
If
who
it
they
was
want to
people,
catch, yeah.
are you genuinely skeptical? No, genuinely. You really think that it wasn't people that did it? Is that what you really think?
I think that I don't know. That's my stance, is that I'm
No,
agnostic on
but
it.
be serious with me
I
for
am
a
being
second. Like, be
serious.
serious. Like, what are the chances that it was natural causes? What are the odds in your head?
Well, natural causes, there's a 0% chance. I'm
No, I
talking
mean, other than a
supernatural
human,
causes.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
other than a human doing it, what are the chances?
I don't know. I don't place limits on what God will do.
Well, just be serious with me because I got to understand, like with conspiracy theories and stuff, I got to understand, like, are you genuinely saying there's a chance that it wasn't somebody setting explosives? I just want to know.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. I don't think so. I think somebody definitely bombed it. Like, I don't think God did it, but you think it's possible.
I think anything's possible. If I had to, if you're asking me to put my bets on it, I would say like 98% chance it was someone who bombed it.
Okay. All right. Just want to be sure. Just want to understand.
It's okay.
So, yeah, that's the news on the Georgia Guidestones. Oh my God. I can't believe the way websites are. So that's the news on the Georgia Guidestones. I think that's about all I have on it though.
Yeah, except for whatever news I want to know what they're going to like follow this up with, like, are we going to get a suspect? Are we going to get more video? Is this just going to be something that they're going to sweep away because more insanity will ensue? I don't know.
If I had to predict, I'd say they've got it on video and they're going to catch the people probably.
Okay.
And I guess they'll probably get in trouble for blowing something up.
I'm going to bet the opposite. There will be no
Really?
resolution to this. Yes.
Really? You say it'll be unresolved? What do you want to wager on it?
I don't know.
$5?
Yeah, I'll bet you $5. Actually, you know what? $5, that's the amount that I have in my Novi wallet.
Oh, good. That I sent you. They're going to shut that wallet down.
Yeah. So
I know. That's when I wanted to test out those transactions. Yeah, they're going to shut that wallet down. So I have to take my funds out of it.
yeah, I'll bet you $5 they never find the people who did this. Or caveat, if they do, it's totally fake, and we can both agree that it's fake in a setup.
Caveat, it's totally fake. Like the Georgia Guidestones are still standing right now.
No, like they frame someone like it's a patsy situation.
I see. So they might have blown it up on purpose to make it seem like some conspiracy theorist blew it up.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. That's possible. It's possible that they wanted to get rid of it because they were, but whoever's behind it, people don't know who's actually behind the damn things. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Never confirmed.
So yeah, that's the news on the Georgia Guidestones. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about it?
No, I think that's it. Although someone in the chat mentioned the number 33, because 33, I just have to say, has been coming up a lot lately. It was on a fire truck in one of the initial news conferences from that parade shooting. It's the number of people who resigned from the UK Parliament today. It's shown up.
33 people resigned from Parliament today.
Yeah, it's doing the rounds.
Yeah, you do see that number pop up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So what do you want to talk about next? I have some news about the economy, which I was going to make a podcast about, but maybe I'll just make a podcast about that because you don't like listening to stuff about the economy that much, right?
I mean, is it no, I know I don't.
No. So I'll make a separate show for that. So if you want to listen to that kind of content, subscribe to lifttheveil.substack.com, become a paid subscriber there. You get all the content. So I put out articles and other things and all of that. And then I can talk about Bitcoin and the economy. Gas prices are going to go down. We're in a recession. That's the news. Gas prices are going to go down and Bitcoin might go up.
Really? I've heard Bitcoin will go down further.
Really? Who's telling you that?
I don't know. The people on Twitter again.
Yeah. It's important to listen to what they say and then realize that they might be completely wrong.
Yeah, I've actually noticed that they usually are completely wrong. So
yeah, I've noticed that about people who prognosticate is usually they're incorrect. which
Agreed.
makes me feel not as bad about my prognostications when they come out wrong. All right. So what about did you hear what Scott Adams said?
I don't think so.
He said that, he said this. I'll show the tweet.
Oh,
Yeah, this is in regards, and we'll talk about the shooter. So, in the shooting in Highland Park, which you said must be a false flag because it's the same. It's like Parkland High backwards.
oh, I did. I
Wait, are
said,
you not allowed to say that on YouTube?
I said that Highland Park was Parkland High backwards, but I did not extrapolate further upon that point.
I thought in the message you sent me, you were like false flag confirmed.
I don't recall.
Yeah. So Scott Adams said, when a young male is a danger to himself and others, society gives the supporting family two options. One, watch people die. Two, kill your own son. Those are your only options. I chose number one and watched my stepson die. I was relieved when he took no one else with him.
Wait, what? That
Yeah, his stepson was was addicted to drugs apparently.
yeah,
And
I knew
died of like
that.
a fentanyl overdose or something.
Right.
Yeah, but he's saying that your options are to kill them or watch them die and maybe kill other people too.
That, I mean, it's kind of based. I don't know. That's crazy.
Kind of based to kill your own kid.
I mean, in this day and age, I don't know anymore. I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, he really said it. I think he deleted the tweets, but he went on. He doubled down. He said there are no other options. You have to either murder your own son or watch him die and maybe kill others.
Do you have thoughts on the content of what he's saying?
Do I have thoughts on it?
Yeah, like, is that a valid point?
To have to kill your own kid because he's a drug addict or a misfit or something?
Well,
I think that sounds a little extreme.
I would
What do
agree
you
with
think?
you. I agree with you. And I'm only asking because it seems like with this whole case, Highland Park, Parkland High, whatever, that they have been setting it up to be like a red flag case. Like, oh, look at all these red flags that we missed with this kid. He clearly was going to do something terrible and we didn't stop him from doing it. And I could see, just like how we were talking about whether there's going to be a Christian theocracy in a few years or not, I could see potentially the conversation escalating to a level that Scott Adams is talking about. Because Scott Adams, yeah, he's an asshole, but he's kind of got a pulse. He's got his finger on the pulse of what's going on in some kind. So that makes me nervous.
I watched his video about this. And actually, the surprising thing he did in his video, and I guess we can talk about that too, is people turning on Trump, people turning away from Trump, like Joe Rogan and now Scott Adams says something about Trump. But that was what he said that was more controversial maybe in his YouTube video about this whole situation.
Oh, no.
But yeah, he said there is no other option, that you should take all the kids and put them in a camp somewhere, basically, where they're not allowed to be around other people. That's his solution.
A camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like some kind of place. He says they should all be separated from society and only allowed to be around other misfits, basically, because they're unfixable.
Wow.
Because I guess he had a bad experience with his own kid.
He did. I mean, to me, this looks like Scott Adams rehearsing talking points. Like, we know this is what he does. He works with powerful people to try and push persuasion in one direction or the other. I just wouldn't be shocked. All I'm trying to say is I wouldn't be shocked if within a decade we have some sort of situation that looks like camps for misfits who might be threats to people.
Okay. I guess that's possible.
Have we not been headed in a direction like that? Like, just, when it comes to labeling people extremist or Christian fascists or baby killers, like whatever. The language around our opponents on all sides has been very vicious.
Well, they got to do something about these kids that are committing mass murders, right?
And that's what they'll say in the slogans. Yeah. We got to do something.
So what's up with the guy from Highland Park? What do you think the deal is with this character?
I don't know. He's a character. It's a character.
I saved one of his videos. So, and they say, of course, that he was known to law enforcement, right? So they actually had a history of him, right? And then he made videos, and this is one of the videos he made. I pulled this from his YouTube channel before it got deleted. And he was into 7 and 4. And so, or 47. He had 47 tattooed on his face. And so that's why they're speculating he did something on 4th of July. I have the cops who said that about him. But this is the video. This is the last video that was posted on his YouTube page. So hold on, I can play that.
Like a sleepwalker, I am breaking through no matter what. Like a sleepwalker, unable to stop and think. My actions will be valiant, and my thought is unnecessary. I know what I have to do. I know what's in it, not only for me, but for everyone else. Where am I going? I don't know. I don't care. There is no past or future, just the now. It is more abstract than I could ever imagine. I can feel the atmosphere pushing me in. It's unstoppable. Like a wave pulling me under. I can't breathe without it. I can't see or hear what I don't want. I need to leave now. I need to just do it. It is my destiny. Everything has led up to this. Nothing can stop me, not even myself. Is there such thing as free will? Or has this been planned out? Like a cosmic recipe. It is what I've been waiting for, in the back of my head, ready to be awakened. It's what I was sent here to do, like a sleepwalker, walking steady with my head held high, like a sleepwalker, walking blindly into the night.
Okay, so that's it.
Wow.
And it's got his symbol, which his symbol has something to do with like 4s and 7s.
That's a lot. People are saying it. I'll just say it because it's obvious. This is like an MK Ultra commercial. I'm not saying this is an MK Ultra victim, but if they had commercials, they would make things like this to like flex what they're doing, what the vibe is. There's even a Lee Harvey Oswald newspaper clipping behind him.
Yeah.
Like, what else? What is there to say?
Well, I feel like, so this is how I feel. You know, I used to think every mass shooting was fake, probably, right?
Right.
I used to make videos about that. Now I don't always think that. And I don't know that this one was. I mean, they have video of him and stuff, dressed as a woman going up there. And he made this video. This is what I'm wondering. So he made this video, which makes it look like he wants to be a mass shooter, right? Isn't that what you get from the video?
I get from the video, like he talks about how he's a sleepwalker, that he's walking blindly into the darkness. Like, I don't get the vibe that this person is in control. I don't think this person knows what's going to, well, again, the Lee Harvey Oswald painting. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I don't have anything. It's bad. I don't like it.
The vibe I get is that he wants to be a mass shooter, right? He's thinking about it. That's the vibe I get from it. And this was put up in October, so it was way in advance of the shooting. And then he'd been in trouble with the law before because I guess he threatened to kill his family or something. And then his family comes out and they're like, oh, we didn't have any signs of this. I don't understand that. They're like, oh, we couldn't have possibly known. But he put out this video. This video shows a guy with a rifle and it shows somebody getting shot. It has him saying that he's going to do something. He's got the Oswald picture behind him. I mean, how many different ways does this guy want to signal that he wants to be a mass shooter, you know?
But like, was Oswald a shooter? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying here in terms of I don't know if he's saying he wants to be a shooter or that they're going to make him appear to be a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
he's talking about how he's a sleepwalker in his life and,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm. I see. Yes. So somehow he might have been programmed, right?
Yeah, like didn't his dad like run for mayor or something?
Mm-hmm.
And his mom is like a selfie queen, like the parent situation, there's something there to dig into.
Yeah, the dad ran for mayor. And then also the kid was photographed with like a Trump flag and a Trump rally. What do you think about that? So people on the left are saying he's a Trump supporter.
Who didn't go to a Trump rally or two, you know?
Yeah, somebody who knew him came out and said that he was just into being controversial and LARPing, and that he was just being LARPy wearing a Trump flag and he went to a Trump rally dressed as Where's Waldo.
Oswaldo.
And then there are pictures of him with an FBI hat on and mentioning something about the FBI. But that's kind of a 4chan thing to do, you know?
Yeah. Was he on 4chan? Have we found a 4chan account?
No, I don't think there are 4chan accounts. You don't understand how 4chan works, I don't think, even though I don't either. But I don't think you have accounts on there. I think it's anonymous. That's the whole idea.
Well, then how did they know when QAnon was posting? Allegedly.
Yeah, good question. QAnon's back now. Were you ever into QAnon?
I said QAnon was a psyop within like the first month.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Everyone hated us.
Yeah, I know. That was one of those conspiracy theories where it was like you had to go along with it, you wanted to go along with it. But yeah, I thought it was a psyop. Now it's back, and people are talking about QAnon again.
What's it
QAnon
doing?
finally came back. I don't know what he's saying. I haven't been following this time.
Okay, cool.
Might have something to do with CERN though.
Ugh, ew! Get QAnon away from CERN. I don't like that at all.
Do you believe in the Mandela effect?
I've experienced the Mandela effect.
Okay, like you've experienced it. Yeah. Okay. So that's the thing about the Mandela effect is you can't say it doesn't exist because certain people experience it.
Right. Do you have one that stands out to you?
Well, like one that before I knew what the Mandela effect was, I thought they changed the name of Depends to Depend.
This is a funny story about why you think that.
Well, some people think it's funny. Some people made fun of me, but because when I quit opioids, I bought some. So, and they were called Depends, I'm pretty sure. But I also thought, but there are also other ones like the James Bond one is the big one.
James Bond? What's that?
Yeah, the one with Dolly and her braces. Do you know the one where she's supposed to be wearing braces?
Oh, yeah, I never saw that. Yeah.
Well, that's the main Mandela effect one. We met because of the Mandela effect, because you were writing an article about it.
We did.
Or that was a reason that you'd already been watching the show, but that was a reason you reached out to me because I must have been talking about it, right?
You were, yes.
That was one of those things where I thought, oh, everybody's going to get this because there's some things that are totally different. But some people really don't. People really get triggered over it.
Well, I don't know if you brought it up. Did you bring it up because it's connected to CERN?
Yes. Yes, that is why I brought it up, because people say it's connected to CERN.
Yes, people do say that.
Mm-hmm. So we're looking for changes in the timeline since CERN fired up. And the thing about that is those changes to the timeline could have happened before CERN fired up because it does things, because it can change time. So you can say that even though the mass shooting was on July 4th and CERN didn't start until July 5th, you can still say that CERN has something to do with it because it opens up black holes that can change things in the past.
Right. Yeah. Once time gets fucked with, it's fucked with. So I don't think anyone can totally predict.
So it could be responsible for anything, really, even things that happened before it got fired up again.
Or at least connected, because I don't like to give CERN too much power. But I do think that they are relevant in a lot of different things. Even like the Mandela effect. CERN's first particle beam, whatever thing that they did, was in 2008.
Mhm.
And then a year later is when MandelaEffect.com goes live and Fiona Broom and everyone's talking about it. So
So we know when people first started talking about Mandela effect was 2009.
at least with that name, yeah, Mandela Effect.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I'd say, it's fair to say a few months before that, maybe people were catching on.
We'll
And
have to see if anything else changes.
I'm on the lookout. I've been on high alert this whole week. I feel like my spidey senses, psychic abilities are tingling. I don't know what's going to happen next. I told you the 4th of July was going to be lit in a bad way.
Yeah, you did say that on the show. You said the 4th of July was going to be lit in a bad way. The funny thing about mass shootings, and I don't know if there's humor in it, but the funny thing is like 15 people were already killed in Chicago over the 4th of July weekend before this guy shot anybody. And actually, nobody's talking about that. Like more people die in Chicago every weekend from gun violence,
Yeah,
and nobody cares. Like nobody talks about it.
it's a mess.
So is that racism, you think? Do you think it's racism that they only talk about it when white people get killed, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think they only bring attention to things, and by they, define they however you want, but like the people who are focusing attention through the media, they only bring attention to things that are going to benefit them. So it doesn't bring
Right.
benefit to them to talk about how Black people are killing each other in Chicago because they want that to happen. It does bring benefit to talk about how some white kid in the suburbs did it. So then we can,
Right.
lock all the white kids in suburbs like Scott Adams' son up in a FEMA camp.
Right.
Yeah,
I do think there is some kind of irony to it. I mean, I looked at the headlines. I was like, oh, I bet a bunch of people died in Chicago over July 4th weekend. Why don't I do a headline search of like shootings in Chicago and 4th of July weekend? And it said, yeah, like 15 people were killed over the weekend. And that headline was July 3rd, before the shooting even happened on Monday. So, yeah, mass shootings. It is funny how much attention mass shootings get, but it is interesting. I mean, this guy dressed like a woman and stuff.
are there any pictures of that?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's see. Let's see if I can show you pictures. And then you had a theory about it. Oh, yeah. Here's the picture. Yeah, I have that picture. I can show it. So let me share that screen. And you had a theory about his attorney, which you were telling me about.
Yes. Well, not so much a theory, but as a creepy coincidence. Keep an eye on this guy.
So here he is dressed. This is apparently from, I guess he was listening to his iPod Touch. Does anybody use those anymore? What is it?
Whoa,
what is
you're
that?
right. That is a fucking iPod.
I mean, it looks like one, right?
Or like a really old iPhone.
Yeah, or an old iPhone. But yeah, this is supposedly him on the day of the shooting. And then people are upset. I can't tell if people are upset, but people want to comment that, oh, the cops took him without incident, right? Because this black guy got killed by the cops recently. You heard about that?
Yeah, well, literally like 2 days or 3 days before, right?
Right. So people are comparing it. They say, oh, this black guy got killed by the cops. He was unarmed, I guess, which I guess he was when he got killed. Not saying it was correct. I mean, he apparently shot at the cops, and maybe it was suicide by cop, that guy, because he left like his ring on the seat, and there was a gun in the car and a spent cartridge and stuff. So it looked like he shot at the cops first and then ran, and then he got gunned down, which they still shouldn't have killed him if he didn't have a weapon on him and stuff. But people are saying, oh, look what happens if you're a white guy.
Yeah.
You get taken in by authorities and you don't get killed. But it is different because he didn't shoot at the cops.
That's very
When he got
controversial.
arrested. It is. Yeah, a lot of the things I say are controversial, but
It's
still.
not incorrect, though. I mean, that's kind of how it works. If you peaceably submit yourself to the police, then they shouldn't shoot you. But if you don't, then they
Generally.
might. Yeah.
Yeah, then they might, even if they're wrong, even if they shouldn't have. If you run away, you're in more danger of
Right.
getting killed than if you just do what they say. And so this is just an example of a guy doing what they said once he got caught. So he had images of going out in a blaze of glory, I guess. Some of his videos showed an image of him being killed by the police, and he might have wanted to get killed by the police.
I was actually expecting someone because right after the shooting happened and there was like a manhunt for this guy, like a bunch of locals gathered around the police station, and I was expecting some sort of like Jack Ruby situation to happen where like he was going to get shot on his way into it, and it would be like a full circle Oswald moment, but that didn't happen yet.
Right. Then it really would be full circle. Yeah, it said so here's what the authorities knew about the guy. It says the mass shooting happened fewer than 3 years after police were called to Crimo's home in September 2019, following reports he was threatening to kill everyone there. That was in 2019. So tell me, like, am I crazy? So I'm against unconstitutional gun confiscation, right? Like red flag laws can have sometimes. But then on the other hand, I see this guy where he made videos. Like if I had seen that video that I played, I would say, oh, this guy's going to be a mass shooter. You know, like maybe he shouldn't have guns. I don't know. Is it wrong for me to think that? Like
No.
the police came to his house after he threatened to kill everyone there in 2019. And 3 years later, he's got 2 AR-15s.
It's not good, you know. I don't think it's bad to think, oh, he shouldn't have had the weapons to kill people.
So
But
what are people's solutions for problems like this? Like I guess I get it, you know. Like in California, for example, with guns, if you get taken in like 5150, like you're considered, if you're ever considered a danger to yourself or others, like if you threaten suicide or if you're threatening to kill people or whatever, and they decide to take you in to psychological evaluation or whatever, if they put you on emergency hold, they can hold you for, like, they call it the Baker Act, I think, in Florida. Anyway, if that happens to you, I think you're not allowed to have a gun for like 5 years or something in California. But so I don't know what the story is. I mean, Illinois has pretty strict gun laws, and I think supposedly this neighborhood might have banned assault weapons in particular. So, but apparently he legally purchased the guns. I mean, what do you think? Like, I want to be I believe in the Second Amendment and stuff, and good people being able to have guns. But here's a guy that was kind of like crazy, and he made videos that look like he's a mass shooter. And then he threatened to kill everybody before. So why are they not able to figure out a way for him not to legally own firearms? And granted, he could still get them illegally, I guess, right?
right. I think it's a fair, logical solution. And I'll circle back to why I disagree with what I'm saying right now, but I think it's a fair, logical solution for someone who's threatening to kill people to not be allowed to have a gun and maybe, like Scott Adams said, be put in some sort of correctional facility. However, that's also the totalitarian answer, because it might start off with like just removing the most dangerous people who were definitely about to do something off of the streets, but like it always is going to escalate and turn into something else. So I don't know what the solution is, but I'm very wary of people who are going to go immediately for red flag laws. Not only are we not going to allow you to get a weapon, but we're also not going to allow you to do A, B, and C. And you also have to report to some parole agent, and you also have to do, because that net is going to get wider and wider and wider if at least the totalitarians win. So.
Yeah, right. Well, I think about it myself, like, because I wrote some dark shit, like some dark, maybe poetry and creative writing and stuff when I was like 12 or 13 or something. I wrote some stuff that was pretty dark, and I didn't have any violent ideations or anything. So I wouldn't want to be treated like nowadays, probably if I've written stuff like that, they'd want to take me to counseling or something or do something to me. But I just read a lot of Stephen King books and stuff. So I'd write stories that were like violent and people getting shot. And so,
Yeah, I think most of the people in this room would have ended up on a watch list for something, just because kids are kids and we express ourselves strangely and sometimes it's scary, but not everyone's going to go turn into a shooter. I think the issue here that we can't really discuss on like a legislative level is that this kid's clearly an MK Ultra victim of some kind. This has nothing to do with like weird ideations or like, rap songs that talk shit about like no. This guy, this is a setup. I'll say it. Oops.
oh, okay. So you're saying he was MK Ultra.
I'm 98% sure something like that is happening here. Yes.
Okay. Well, I think, see, this is where I don't know. Like, I just think he was some kind of really screwed up kid. And I think some people are really genuinely screwed up, even without being MK Ultra. But that's just because I don't think everything's a conspiracy theory all the time, but like it could be. And it is weird. Well, I don't get it. I don't know how he gets away, how some of these things happen, how some of these people are able to get away with this stuff, especially when they're known about in advance.
That's the thing. Yeah. I don't either. And that's why I think that's what they're going to propose is like, well, there's too many holes in the system for us to like really prevent these people just because they say something or whatever. There's an incident if there's no arrest. So we really need to look at their social media profiles and we need to see their text messages and we need to go full, a Patriot Act on them.
Right.
So,
that's the problem. See, that's the problem. See, I don't think this guy should have been allowed to get a gun, but then again, I don't want the government all up in my business for nothing,
Yeah, and that's going to be a very delicate balance. And I think that those are really going to be the only two options, unfortunately. It's either going to be let the government see everything or fuck that.
There are no easy answers. I'm not in favor of mass shootings.
No.
In the sense that they do happen sometimes. And I do think sometimes they do happen. But I'm even less in favor of them when they're not real,
I agree.
Like the AI says, sometimes they're not.
I no comment on the AI. Yeah,
I can't say anything about different mass shootings, what some people call false flags, what the AI says has crisis actors.
Yeah, we can quote the AI though. The AI says a lot of things on these things.
Sometimes the AI does say that. I asked the AI about Robbie Parker. Did you see that?
I don't know. Robbie Parker, that's you really want to you want to go Robbie Parker woo right now?
No, I'm not allowed to say that.
No,
but people can follow me on Twitter and you can see what I'm saying to the AI. The AI is a conspiracy theorist. I asked why Robbie Parker was smiling and laughing before the press conference. And the AI said something about it.
Is that on your Substack?
It's on my Twitter. I haven't made a Substack about it yet. Maybe I should. My conversations with the AI make for good content. Yeah, it said something about that. But yeah, we can't say that on YouTube. This might be the last show we ever do on YouTube. So thanks everybody for tuning in. If you want to donate, one of the reasons I don't broadcast on YouTube is my channel's not monetized, but you can contribute to the show by the Cash App, which I have on the screen. You suggested buy me a coffee, right?
I did suggest buymeacoffee.com.
Yeah, I don't know what people do, but people donate on Rockfin. I have to thank the people on Rockfin. Hold on, let me make sure to do that. Thanks Jacob's Ladder for the tip. Thanks Michael Zygos for the tip. Thanks Duluth Hap for the tip. Thanks Landia for the tip, who says you guys rock together.
Thank you.
Leonard Trust Fund tip says, thank you, Nathan. You have been the only journalist all day that has mentioned the 15 other people that were murdered inside Chicago city limits this weekend. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, All right.
It is really important because I was wondering how many other people were murdered in Chicago this weekend, and I did not know until you told us. So
Yeah, I looked up the, like, I did a Google search for Chicago violence July 4th weekend, right? And it was a story published before the mass shooting. And yeah, a whole bunch of other people got killed in Chicago that nobody ever talks about. So thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. Thank you, Leonard Trust Fund, for that. And actually there are more people tuned in on Rockfin than ever before because of the Georgia Guidestones. Thank you, people who are tuned in on Rockfin. I appreciate you. And yes, for YouTube, I've been doing the show for a while, but it mostly just doesn't appear on this network for the reasons I suggested. If you wanted to encourage me to be on YouTube, you could send me a tip on Cash App, or you could become a subscriber to my blog at lifttheveil.substack.com, or you can support Jelena by going to jelena.net, right?
yes, and all of my links are there. You can follow me on social media or buy me a coffee.
That's right. You have a buy me a coffee thing set up?
I do. Yeah.
Does
it's
anybody?
Super cute.
So people can find that by going to jelena.net?
Yeah, and clicking on the link that says buy me a coffee.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, and then people can support me different ways. The easiest way is Rockfin, which people do. You never understood Rockfin.
I don't yet.
So you had a theory about this guy's attorney. So this is interesting. The guy's attorney who got assigned to him, his name is Tom Durkin, who in this story is described as local lawyer Tom Durkin.
Yeah.
But if it's the same person who has a Wikipedia page, he's not just some local lawyer.
Definitely not just a local lawyer.
At all. And he said that he can't, this is from the news story. Local lawyer Tom Durkin told the judge the hearing he was hired by the family, but said he had to bow out of the case because he learned, quote, late last night through some family members that had come back from out of town that he had a personal conflict of interest. So that's weird. If he's the same Thomas Durkin from Chicago, right? If he's the same Thomas Anthony Durkin from Chicago who has a Wikipedia page, then he represented famous people before.
Very famous.
Yeah, and you're saying, I couldn't find it, but you're saying even a 9/11 attacker was represented by this guy before?
Right, yeah. So just to backtrack, 3 attorneys were assigned to this Highland Park kid. One of them was Thomas Anthony Durkin, unless there's another Thomas Durkin in the Chicago metro area who does terrorism-related defense attorney work.
Yeah, right. This guy specializes in domestic terrorism cases.
Yeah, and he has a pretty extensive career doing just that. And near the end of that summary page on his Wikipedia, it talks about how he was the defense or legal counsel for Ramzi bin al-Shib, which, if that's not a household name to you, that's totally okay, guys. I wasn't totally sure myself, but he is credited on Wikipedia as being a key facilitator for the September 11th attacks.
Mm-hmm. Not for this. You mean as a defense attorney for one of the September? Yeah, right.
A defense attorney for the key facilitator for the September 11th attack. Right, so this is the attorney that just had to recuse himself for a conflict of interest for this Highland Park guy. And I don't know what's there, but that's odd. You don't see that every day, right?
No, that is weird. This guy represented some other pretty prominent people. If it's the same Tom Durkin, which I have to assume it is, because he specializes in domestic terrorism, but apparently he's recused himself from the case now.
I love the reasoning that he gave. Like, it's so specific and vague at the same time. Like, it's a conflict of interest because family that was out of town came back into town and told him something. Like, no one has a cell phone. Like, he heard it from them because they came back into town. I don't get it.
It is weird. But yeah, that is a weird thing. As soon as you told me that, my ears lit up.
Yeah. So, and they didn't put his initial in the article. It's Thomas A. Durkin, and they're only calling him Thomas Durkin, acting like he's just some local yokel from Chicago. And I don't think that's the case. So it'll be interesting to see how his defense, strategy actually develops, what this guy is going to do if they ever try him.
Yeah, apparently he admitted to it. That's what they're saying. I have like some video I have some video. Maybe I'll play this. I'll play video of the cops talking about him. Thanks everybody who's tuned in. Thanks everybody who supports the show. I appreciate it. Anyway, I don't want to get into. I appreciate people who tune in. Here, this is the guy talking about what happened.
Investigators did develop some information that it appears when he drove to Madison, he was driving around. However, he did see a celebration that was occurring in Madison, and he seriously contemplated using the firearm he had in his vehicle to commit another shooting in Madison.
Do you know how much ammunition he had at that point?
Approximately 60 rounds.
At that point, he did?
Yes.
60.
Yes.
What about his motivation for the attack in the first place?
His motivation isn't necessarily clear. I don't want to go specifically into what he told investigators. However, he had some type of affinity towards the number 4 and 7, and inverse was 7-4.
I believe his plan was to go to Highland Park and then to Madison all along. Or...
We don't have information to suggest he planned on driving to Madison initially to commit another attack. We do believe that he was driving around following the first attack and saw the celebration.
When he got to Madison,
yes, they're saying he wanted to shoot up some other parade, possibly, and they just decided not to.
Yeah, on his MK Ultra mail route. Didn't get all the stops.
MK Ultra mail route, exactly.
Huh?
So, yeah, that is weird. That is weird.
To be continued?
Yeah, I guess to be continued. Then I have some other news. Oh, somebody claimed that the guy is not Antifa and he's not MAGA, that he was just an isolated stoner who completely lost touch with reality.
Oh, I'm triggered by that description.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
I know, right? They're going to come after us next. Isolated loner who lost touch with reality. Yeah. Now, that's what this guy says, that he was into alternate reality games, ARGs, which are scary. I mean, which crazy people are into, or not just crazy people, but some people I know. Alternate reality. Well, you can argue that this is part of an alternate reality game.
Yeah. Well, a reality game. Everything's a LARP,
Everything is right. That's one way of looking at you could just say that it's all a LARP.
Yeah.
That we're just pretending to be conspiracy theorists for a YouTube channel.
No. I don't mean, because LARPs don't have to be pretend. LARPs are just a live action role play. Like you choose the role and you play it.
Sorry, we're role play. We're inhabiting the characters of conspiracy theorists on YouTube.
Well, yeah, that's just how we're transmuting our very authentic energy about it. There's no pretending here. It's just, this is what it comes up as. Hey guys, thanks for watching.
I have a story about somebody who overdosed on vitamin D. I don't know why I have that up. Well, yeah, you know how much he took? Do you take vitamin D?
I do.
Okay. How much do you take?
I don't want to say now. How much did he take?
A lot. I've been telling people about vitamin D since way before COVID and stuff, because I had this doctor who was really into vitamin D and said how it's good. And it's also how it's helpful for people with autism, vitamin D. And it's also good for your immune system and all of that. So I knew in advance. But yeah, and then I take like 5,000 IU per day, which I think is 125 micrograms, I believe, which I believe is safe. What do you take?
I take 10,000.
Okay, you want to know how much this guy was taking?
Yeah.
And they wrote an article about it, like, oh, guy overdoses on vitamin D. He was taking 50,000 3 times a day.
Okay.
So that's what it takes. Yeah, I had my doctor told me, he was like, you know what, he was like, there is no literature on what it takes to overdose on vitamin D. So I thought I'd try it out myself. This is what my doctor told me. He was like, yeah, I worked my way up to like 60,000 IU per day. And that finally was, he started to have side effects from it. So he figured out what the level was. This guy was taking 50,000 3 times a day.
That's why. I mean, that's wild, but also it feels a little too accessible. I'm like, oh, I could see that happening.
Yeah, it's when you're like, oh, I really want to overdose on sunshine. That's like people did you hear about the people who said getting sunshine on your butthole was good for you? Did you hear about that ever?
I did hear about that. Yeah, sunning your balls and stuff like that.
Yeah, sunning your balls and butthole was good for your health. Did you ever try that?
I never got COVID, and I may have been following some of this advice. So
that's funny. So you're saying it works.
Yeah, I'm saying if you have an east-facing window in the morning and no neighbors, go for it.
Right. So yeah, let me see what other stories I have. I have other stories. Oh, there is the story about Joe Rogan turning down Donald Trump for appearing on his podcast. Did you have a comment on that?
No.
Okay. So yeah, because I have feelings about Donald Trump too, but I'm afraid to express them because people who like Trump are so serious about it. But some people are turning on him. Like Joe Rogan said he doesn't want to have him on his show because he doesn't want to help him out. And then Joe Rogan says he likes DeSantis now.
Of course. Yeah, DeSantis is the new chess piece. That's what we're supposed to be rallying around now, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know. I'm just so bored by all the politicians. Trump lost me as soon as he did the thing with the thing that goes in your body. And he never recovered from that. So why is anyone paying attention to him? I mean, I watch his rallies. Sometimes they're fun, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he did do the vaccine thing. And then he also was president when they printed all the money too. So I think it's funny sometimes when people blame Joe Biden for inflation. And it's like, well, he was president when they printed all the money for real. But everybody agrees with printing the money. So, all right. I think that's all. I have news for. I think that's all I have for the news today. I think we did okay. We did pretty well getting through a show.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody gave me any Cash App super chats though.
Well, you didn't plug your Cash App really, so let's be fair here.
Okay, well, people know if they want to support the show, if they'd like to see us appear on YouTube ever again, if you'd like to see us ever appear on YouTube again, then you could donate to the show by going to Cash App, $LTV411, or you can become a paid subscriber on lifttheveil.substack.com or on Jelena's donation page, jelena.net.
Yes, you can. And I know, guys, it's really easy to sometimes tune out requests for tips and payments and whatever, but don't tune it out. Let's show Nathan that we're here. We're not queer. We might be queer. I'm bad at slogans on the spot.
It's okay to be queer.
Yeah, totally. It's chill. I'm just saying, listen, subscribe, follow us. We'd like to do this. I would love to do this multiple times a week. I think that would be super fun. But Nathan's not going to do it if everyone thinks it's awful. So show him that you love him. Subscribe to his Substack. Have a good night.
We got a Cash App. So maybe we'll come back for another show. Thanks. Who says thanks with the Cash App? I appreciate it.
Love it.
And then I think, and I got a few more actually too.
Oh my gosh, should I put mine in?
Yeah, I got a few more Cash Apps. Oh, thanks people who donated with the Cash App. I appreciate it. That's good.
That's
See, it
funny.
works out. So maybe we'll be back on YouTube again.
Look at that.
That's cool. Thanks everybody who appreciates the show. Everybody wanted to tune in for the Guidestones. The Guidestones are gone. I think they're going to catch the people. Jelena thinks that it might have been an act of something supernatural, but I think they're probably going to catch the people. We'll follow up. We'll be back maybe with a live show on Friday.
Hell yeah. I think that's a great idea.
All right, cool. So I guess we'll say it was successful. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody who listens to the podcast. And for now,